Greetings, everyone. This is SLS. We run a little late today, but that's okay. I'm going to talk about some things that have been shocking me lately. Let me tell you how I got rock hard with a woman. See how I threw that in real quick? That's the type of advertising we get. Just throw in some type of lustful, evil insinuations. They have nothing to do with anything. This is the kind of society we're living in. I hope I didn't offend anyone, but I just use that to show you how you could be inundated with negativity without any notice. Because it happened to me a lot. And that has an effect on your psyche, your brain, and your spirit. So we're going to have to learn how to protect ourselves from these psychic attacks. It's getting worse than that. You can be watching the video. I've been watching videos and porn, explicit porn, just pop up. I said, look at this. This is no accident. These things are by design to keep you, or if you're not in a low vibration, to take you there, to make you think about sex. Think about sex don't take you nowhere. And you hear all these programs about these people into drugs. I was just watching a documentary on Nature Boy. They talk about how Harlem is infected with drugs, and everybody's a hustler. This is back from 40, 50 years ago. But they never talk about how the drugs got to Harlem. They never talk about the people who bring drugs in. They're never prosecuted. We don't go outside the country and bring in no drugs. Iran-Contra taught you who bring the drugs in. That's a government operation. But the people affected by it are the only ones who go to prison. The big wheelers who bring the drugs in the country, you don't even hear about them. It's assumed like, okay, we bring the drugs in, or we manufacture the drugs. No, we just the users, the distributors. There's people high up that bring the drugs in that you never hear about. I wonder why. Could those be the untouchables? Meaning they so high up they cannot be touched? So you tell me who the real criminals are then. If you give life to somebody for using drugs, but the high ups, the untouchables, you don't even know who they are. But they get away. They get it. They never even come near being in jail. You tell me who the criminals are. It's sick and disgusting. And when they brought the drugs in to give us a way to make money after they destroyed our economy. Do you know the entrepreneurship came from us? Yes. As you call them, black people invented entrepreneurship. We had to. They wouldn't give us jobs. So we was prosperous. The Road 20 was all about us. Every time you see those movies about them roaring 20s and them clubhouse scenes, and that's us. They wasn't prosperous like that. And to prove it, if they was prosperous like that, when the 30 came, when the depression came, why were they in soup lines? We wasn't in soup lines. We had our own farmland. Oh, it's been so much distortion in history. It would take years for me to explain to you what really happened. It's just an autocracy. Because after the community was destroyed, they destroyed our ability to be independent. They made us dependent. And the one thing they used to make us dependent, first it was Heron. That's why all these musicians was mostly strung out on Heron. Yeah, it was a comforting drug because all the problems they put us through. And as an artist, when you're an artist, you feel things very deeply. So they brought in Heron to get us strung out. That's what's killed us. Oh, this by design, man. This by design. And then about the same time in the 1930s, they started having these in Tuskegee. Why they chose Tuskegee? Because that was the center stage of our educational system, where we produced doctors, lawyers, any profession you can think of. We graduated them, we taught them from that outstanding institution created by Booker T. Washington, who was self-sufficient, independent, didn't need them for anything. That's why they attacked Tuskegee. They had what they call a syphilis experiment. They didn't call it that. But what they decided to do is not treat the people who had feeding. Actually, they gave it to them. People didn't have it. They said, we're going to measure your blood. Make sure your blood is good. The blood test. And they gave them syphilis. And then they wouldn't treat them. They want to see how it spread. Scientific study. Wow. Yeah, that went on for 40 years until Nixon put an end to it. And at the same time they was putting an end to untreating the people with syphilis that now was going on for generations, they had this created drug called AIDS. AIDS also manufactured for destroy us, but it's used more effectively in Africa, because they weren't suspecting to be given the shots that would give them AIDS under the disguise of immunization. I'm getting kind of sick of even talking about this. So I gotta go. Talk to y'all later.